Electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but the complete range of all types of radiations. This electromagnetic spectrum gives us a range of frequencies, wavelengths, and energies. The electromagnetic waves are gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible rays, near infrared rays, microwaves, and radio waves. These electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. Transverse means here electric and magnetic fields are present in electromagnetic wave, and these two, electric field and magnetic field, will be perpendicular to each other like this, and also perpendicular to the wave propagation. If the wave is propagating like this, then we can say the nature of the wave is transverse. So this is happening in electromagnetic waves. That's why these electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature, and they travel with the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second, and they are not deflected to electric fields and magnetic fields because they do not carry a net electric charge. Gamma rays. Gamma rays were invented by Paul Willard in the year 1906, and the frequency range of gamma rays is 10 power 20 Hz to 10 power 24 Hz, and the wavelength is less than 1 picometer, that is 10 power minus 12 meters. Due to their high energy and high penetrating power, these are used in cancer treatment and diagnostic imaging and sterilization of surgical instruments or sometimes food particles and etc. And these are effectively kill the bacteria and microorganisms. X-rays invented by Röntgen in the year 1895. Their frequency range is 10 power 17 Hz to 10 power 20 Hz, and their wavelength range is from 1 nanometer. 1 nanometer means 10 power minus 9 meters to 1 picometer. 1 picometer means 10 power minus 12 meters. And these are used in diagnosing fractures, detecting tumors, and to examine the internal structure of objects in industrial purpose. And lung cancer can be detected, and other lung related issues also detected with the X-rays. And to find out the fake currency in computed tomography, means CT scans, also X-rays are used in security checkpoints in airports or somewhere. For luggage checking, X-rays are used. Ultraviolet rays invented by Ritter in the year 1801, and their frequency range is from 10 power 15 Hz to 10 power 17 Hz, and their wavelength is from 400 nanometer to 1 nanometer, and these are used in water purification, and UV lamps are used in hospitals to sterilize the surfaces, the equipment, and the air, because the air contains a lot of bacteria. That's why UV lamps are used to sterilize those bacteria, and to remove airborne pathogens, to treat skin problems like psoriasis, and to detect fingerprints in crime scenes. And astronomers understands composition and temperature of celestial bodies. If the celestial bodies emits the ultraviolet rays, by observing the ultraviolet rays emitted by those celestial bodies, astronomers understands the composition of the celestial body and the temperature of the celestial body. These are the few uses of ultraviolet rays. Visible rays are discovered by Sir Isaac Newton in 1666 while he is doing some experiments with prisms, and the frequency is given by 4 into 10 power 14 Hz to 7.5 into 10 power 14 Hz, and the wavelength is 750 nanometers to 400 nanometers. And the uses are, these rays are responsible for the vision of all the creatures. The screens, cell phone screens, TV screens, computer monitors, and use visible light to display images or display some information. And they're used in traffic signals and brake lights, and in photography, and in phototherapy to treat some skin problems, and in visible light communication, we call it as VLC. We can transmit data wirelessly using the visible light. And heating, in some cases, heating may be possible uh, by visible rays. And in spectroscopy is the important thing in the fields of astronomy and chemistry. In this spectroscopy also, visible rays are used. These are the some uses of visible rays. Infrared rays, discovered by Herschel in the year 1800, and the frequency range is from 10 power 13 Hz to 4 into 10 power 14 Hz, and the wavelength range is from 25 micrometer. Micro means 10 power minus 6, 25 into 10 power minus 6 meters to 750 nanometers. And infrared rays are used in heating process and cooking. These are used in night vision devices like night vision goggles, and in security cameras, infrared rays are used, and analyzing temperature patterns of the body for diagnostics. And in the firefighting, also infrared rays used, and these infrared rays send signals to the devices like television. And wildlife observation can be done with infrared cameras without disturbing the animals, and high speed internet uses infrared rays, and blood circulation issues can be detected with infrared rays. And IR telescopes, infrared telescopes observe celestial objects which are not visible by optical spectrum. Optical spectroscopes cannot observe, are not able to observe some celestial bodies. So those celestial bodies can be observed by infrared telescopes. And infrared rays are used in satellites to monitor the climate changes. These are few uses of infrared rays. Microwaves were discovered by H.C. Spencer in 1945, and the frequency is from 3 into 10 power 11 Hz to 10 power 13 Hz. Wavelength is from 1 millimeter to 25 micrometer, and these are used in cooking, drying wood, rubber, resins, and for long distance transmission for TV, telephone, and other communication systems, and in wireless networks, and in radar systems to detect long distant objects like aircraft. And in cancer treatment also, the microwaves are used. Radio waves are first discovered in 1886 by Hedge, developed by Marconi, and the frequency is less than 3 into 10 power 11 Hz, and the wavelength is greater than 1 millimeter. And the uses are radio and TV broadcasting uses radio waves, and in amplitude modulation and frequency modulation, radio waves are used. And in various communication like mobile phone communication, satellite communication, Bluetooth, GPS navigation, radar systems, and remote operations also, radio waves are used. In MRIs, MRI, MRI means magnetic resonance imaging. In magnetic resonance imaging also, radio waves are used. In heating and drying some materials in industries is done by radio waves. And to understand the structure of nearby galaxies and stars by astronauts. The relation between energy, frequency, wavelength, and Planck's constant is given by E is equals to h nu. From this I can write E is equal to hc by lambda, because nu, the frequency, is given by c by lambda, where c is the velocity of light, which is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second, but the actual value is 2.99792458 into 10 power 8 meters per second. And here h is called Planck's constant, whose value is 6.62607015 into 10 power minus 34 joule second or 6.62607015 into 10 power minus 27 erg second. If it is converted to electron volt second, then it will be 4.135666733 into 10 power minus 15 electron volt second.